And we've long heard about jobs being shipped overseas, but now so is the way Americans are having a baby. Holly Williams is with us. Holly, what a story. Good morning.
Good morning, Nora. Good morning, Anthony. Hundreds of Americans are discovering that surrogacy, the practice of women willing to carry a couple's unborn child, is less expensive, less regulated and less complicated in India. And that's given birth to a lucrative industry.
This is my baby boy.
Dana and Sumant Chandra have been trying to have a baby ever since they married 14 years ago in Chicago.
Show me your beautiful blue eyes.
They believe their newborn son Ethan is a miracle because doctors in the US told Dana she'd never have a child.
I never thought we'd see the day that we'd have this baby. He's so beautiful.
They finally realized their dream of starting a family by traveling 8,000 miles to India, the country where Sumant grew up. Ethan was born to a surrogate mother at this clinic in the dusty town of Anand, a hub in India's multi-million-dollar surrogacy industry. An embryo created from the Chandra's own sperm and egg was implanted in an Indian woman who was paid to carry their child.
This is definitely a win-win arrangement.
Their doctor, Nayana Patel, has helped more than 200 American couples have a baby.
When you see a childless couple, you understand how desperate, how frustrated they are.
India's booming surrogacy business is unregulated. A mistake in another clinic left one couple with a baby that wasn't theirs. But surrogacy in India is cheap. At around $25,000, it's less than a quarter of what parents would pay in the US.
First time surrogate.
The surrogates themselves earn just $8,000. At Dr. Patel's clinic, it's compulsory for them to live in this hostel so that their pregnancies can be monitored. It's overcrowded and they're cut off from their families.
What will you do?
Meena Palmer used to work as a housemaid making $30 a month. She's pregnant with a baby for an American couple and told us the money she earns will pay for her own son's education. The desperation of many poor surrogate mothers makes them vulnerable.
Are the surrogates protected legally? What rights do they have?
I would say that they have the right to terminate the pregnancy at any stage of pregnancy if they are not comfortable, but in that case they have to pay the couple whatever money they have spent so far.
Dana and Sumant worried about the unequal relationship with their surrogate.
My biggest concern was I didn't want to take advantage of a woman who's desperately in need of money, physically not capable of doing this.
So we kind of struggle with a lot of these kind of issues ourselves, kind of thinking, are we taking advantage? Because obviously we did it here because of financial reasons.
Those doubts haven't stopped hundreds of couples coming to India for affordable surrogacy. Dr. Patel is so busy she's now building a new private hospital. But in a country of dire poverty, some worry that India's surrogate mothers are ripe for exploitation.
Holly Williams is with us. So are these women being exploited?
Well, it depends how you look at it. The woman who you saw in my report just then earned $8,000. That's a lot of money for her. Yeah. And all of the doctors who we spoke to said this is a win-win arrangement. You know, the woman gets a lot of money, the couple gets a baby that they desperately want. But here is an example of it going very wrong. And this is in the second part of my report that airs on the evening news tonight. We spoke to the family of a surrogate mother who died because of a condition caused by pregnancy. And they told us that she was illiterate, she couldn't read the contract she signed, and she had no idea of the risks she was taking.
And there's no regulation in India?
There's very, very little regulation. You know, the Indian government has been discussing regulating it for a long time, but at the moment there are just unenforceable guidelines.
And about how many American children are we talking about that have been born from these Indian surrogate mothers about? Do we know?
We just don't know. I mean, it's India. It's really hard to get accurate statistics, but some of these clinics are really big. I mean, one clinic we visited is producing 300 babies a year, and 80% of them are for foreign couples.
Holly Williams, incredible story. Thank you. And Holly will have more on surrogacy in India tonight on the CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley.